you know.
Well, Trump just blew past. He just the one thing that we'll have to say about him is he said, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and my people wouldn't give a shit. He actually is an adjudicated rapist on Fifth Avenue. A court of competent jurisdiction, a judge said by any common definition of the word rape, you raped that woman.
This is the dressing room one?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that may have happened, but I mean...
But a jury in a court said it did.
That fucking means nothing to me, because I know what they know, which is nothing. They know two people said two different things about something that happened in the 90s, and of which there's no witnesses or tape.
But you know
so
what?
Look, I hate Donald Trump as much as anybody, but I can't say for sure I just know that. Just because 9 people said they think that, I can't.
First of all...
But yes.
They had more evidence. In other words,
did?
Yes. So she told me
what was
this
the
happened.
What was the evidence?
Other people that she told contemporaneous with it.
Well,
which whatever. A jury said that
you know what? You know more about this case than apparently I do, and maybe if I knew everything, I would be completely.
I know that a jury.
Yeah.
I tend to have more faith in those people. In juries, I think most of them really try to weigh what's there. And I do know that a jury, but now I get too technical here, but by a preponderance of the evidence.
Right.
It's a little bit of a different standard in a criminal case. It's beyond a reasonable doubt.
I'm admitting, I didn't know that there was like...
Brace yourselves. Sparks flew when Bill Maher sat down with veteran political strategist James Carville. What started as a conversation quickly turned into a verbal showdown. Carville didn't hold back, opening with a fiery remark. Not every Trump supporter is a racist, but every racist sure feels at home in Trump's camp. That line hit like a lightning bolt, instantly igniting a heated exchange. Carville doubled down, blasting the modern Republican Party as a far cry from its traditional, fiscally conservative roots. According to him, today's GOP has been hijacked by extreme right-wing nationalism. He pointed fingers at figures like Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy, accusing them of desperately trying to out-Trump Trump in a chaotic bid to win over the party's most radical base. But Maher wasn't about to give the left a free pass either. He slammed the far left for its own brand of extremism, obsessing over ideological purity, enforcing cancel culture, and adopting a tribal mindset that, ironically, mirrors the MAGA movement they claim to oppose. That's when the conversation got brutally honest. Both Maher and Carville reached a sobering conclusion. America's political discourse is broken. It's not just Republicans versus Democrats anymore. It's a full-on culture war, where opposing views are treated like existential threats. Carville noted that many Republicans now see Democrats as a greater danger than foreign adversaries. This wasn't your typical cable news panel. It was raw, unfiltered, and unsettlingly real. Blind loyalty to party lines is suffocating common sense, destroying meaningful dialogue, and dragging our democracy through the mud. If you care about where this country is headed, this is the kind of conversation you can't afford to ignore. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's break it all down, together.
Genius to his madness, and the thing I always say about Trump is you have to remember he's stupid and crazy, and they're two completely different things. And this is like the crazy part works for him because he's without a mechanism to edit or to pull back. So, as my friend Jimmy always says, insanity photographs. You can't take your eyes off him. Obviously, whenever they put him on TV, the ratings go through the roof. And that's why insane people are charismatic. You can't look away. So when he does all this, not just sexual stuff, but certainly the sexual stuff, it's like, I'm going to own, and no one else in the world would even think of this as a strategy. And he has no strategy. It's just what he feels. He's all id. But to own that, to own being this kind of guy, and half the country likes it. Or at least it's not a deal breaker because they feel like it's honest.
At least he's honest. He says what he thinks.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. And the
Well,
thing
when
really
you like-
is he tells you it's okay if you hate other people. And he validates what that guy says. I like because he says what I think.
Well, he plays on the fact that his people think that your people hate them and look down on them and see them as deplorables. I mean, I think they think...
There's some truth to it.
Oh, there's a lot of truth to it.
And I'm as good a Democrat
Yes,
as
you
the
are.
next person. But you hear...
This wasn't your typical political back and forth. It was a no-holds-barred reality check. When Bill Maher and James Carville sat down, it wasn't just to vent about politics. It was a deep dive into the tribalism tearing America apart. Their message was loud and clear. Real debate, the kind where people actually listen and respectfully disagree, is on life support. Politics today isn't about policy or governance. It's become a test of identity. Your beliefs define your social standing, and stepping even slightly outside your party's line can get you canceled, ostracized, or worse. Maher, known for calling out extremism on both sides, put it bluntly. We're no longer trying to persuade each other, we're just trying to win moral points. Politics has become pure performance. On the left, it's rigid ideological purity. On the right, it's loud, flag-waving nationalism. Different tactics, same toxic energy. Carville didn't mince words either. He said, Americans are more obsessed with passing ideological purity tests than passing legislation that actually helps people. Why? Because the media isn't built to inform anymore. It's built to inflame. Outrage fuels engagement, and engagement drives power. So we're fed a non-stop diet of fear, rage, and finger-pointing. The result? Compromise is seen as weakness. Disagreement is betrayal. In today's America, political opponents aren't just wrong, they're enemies. Maher and Carville sounded the alarm. If this continues, America won't just stay divided. It'll be trapped in a never-ending war of us versus them, where scoring points matters more than solving problems. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. They issued a challenge. If we want to fix this, we have to step outside our echo chambers. That means having hard conversations and listening, even when it's uncomfortable. It's the only way to break the cycle. This wasn't just another political discussion. It was a siren call, loud, urgent, and impossible to ignore. Because if we don't change course soon, the divide won't just persist, it'll consume us.
Pressure on me, like, yes, that's your interior monologue. There's a lot of pressure on me because the FBI's looking into me for good reason. You don't say, so I invited the Russians in. I mean, like, it's so beyond it. This is
not
not
the Russian ambassador showing him top secret shit. He was showing a guy at Bedminster, look at these.
But I mean, he does one a day, or he did when he was president, like something that only a nut would do. It's amazing to me that we lived through those 4 years, because when I look back on it, and of course the Trump people say, oh, you know, you have Trump derangement syndrome, and yeah, he blew up the world, right, Bill? I don't think, yeah, you know, you're right, he didn't blow up the world. I still think he could, okay? Is that completely crazy that I think a crazy person could blow up the world? No.
The shit that he did is like stunning.
I'm saying no.
The documents case, if you stop and you think about it, like one time,
I could read 1,000 tweets that are just insane that just went by. I remember there was one that said he was mad at China, and he said, I hereby, like he's the king, I hereby order all American companies to immediately, you know, work on a plan to change your, he was like ordering them to get out of China. I hereby order. And again, that's just insane that nobody else would even think to do that. But he doesn't think. That's his insanity and his attraction.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, history eventually finds out. They find this asshole Pius XII. They found the letter where they told him they were gassing.
The Pope during World War II?
Yeah. All right, we know from history he's been outed, I guess is what you would say.
Right.
Do you think, with all the history is known, would you guess that the Russians have compromised on Trump, or that's just liberal factors?
No, I have always said that the Russian hoax theory is a hoax. Plainly, there was something going on between Russia and Trump. It was not perhaps...
James Carville isn't your average political commentator. He's a battle-tested strategist who's seen it all from the front lines of American politics. He's not here to play nice or sugarcoat the truth. Carville told it like it is. In Washington, your enemies can define you just as much as your allies. That's not cynicism. It's the brutal reality of power. We're living in a time where political loyalty has become a moral purity test, but Carville isn't buying into that fantasy. For him, politics isn't about feeling righteous, it's about winning. And to win, you need to know exactly who's standing with you and who's aiming for your head. Then came his biggest warning for Democrats. Don't count Trump out. Yes, there's been courtroom drama, scandal after scandal, and a media circus surrounding him, but none of it has weakened Trump's grip on his base. If anything, Carville argued, it's made him even stronger. Trump isn't running on policy. He's running on pure resentment. And he knows exactly how to tap into the anger of voters who feel forgotten, ignored, and alienated by the system. Carville didn't mince words. Democrats laughed Trump off once, and it cost them dearly. Do it again, and they're risking a repeat of 2016. If you're into bold, no BS political breakdowns, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more. And don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a drop.